All right, and we are back with From My Understanding, hosted by Christopher Michael Watson, where I just talk to you all about things that I'm kind of obsessed about at the time. And last episode, we talked about black holes. I hope you found that entertaining, educational, if not entertaining. Obviously, I don't know everything about space. I'm not an astrophysicist, but I watch a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson. But I have some corrections for myself from last time because, see, I like to learn as I'm going about this thing. I'm speaking what I think I know, then I go back and be like, oh, that was wrong. So I didn't exactly know the speed of light. And the speed of light, I was close. I said 300,000 something, right? Right? It's 299,792 kilometers per second. So if you're in England, that makes sense. If you're in America, do some calculations. But I was around right. I said 300,000 something. And then for Stephen Hawking, his book that I wanted you all to know about was called The Grand Design. Now he has plenty of books. That's the only one I've read that I can personally vouch for. But he has plenty of books like A Brief History of Time, The Universe in a Nutshell. He was just one of our most brilliant minds, and I think you could do yourself a favor by reading some of his material. All right. So for today, what do we have on the docket? What am I obsessed with? We're talking about chess, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about the great game of kings and queens. Now, I've been playing chess for a while, not anything serious. My mom used to take me to the library, my local library, and like have me playing chess games and taking chess classes. She was very good for that, putting me into things that I should know. But chess has been something I've always been interested in because I'm very big into strategy. Like I love reading books on war, even though I'm a very peaceful person. But I appreciate the logic. I appreciate the strategy, and chess is all about that. So let's talk a little bit about the history of chess. Chess, from what we understand, obviously there's no real written hard records, but from our earliest understanding, chess started in the 6th century A.D. somewhere in India. I'm sure there might be a more specific place, but that's about as much as I could find. And there was actually this interesting story. I don't know how true this was, but apparently, there were two princes who were brothers, and one of them died in battle, and the other brother wanted to kind of honor him by staging a scene that people could play over and over that kind of depicted his brother dying in battle. And that's kind of how chess began. He created this board that kind of showed his brother and the way that the other combatants were about to kill him. And so I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was kind of a cool way for this to start. But obviously, the game continued to evolve throughout the years. It moved from India to Persia, kind of through tradesmen, people who were just trading along the Silk Road and things of that nature, and then it made its way to the Muslim world, and through Moorish conquest, it made its way up to Europe, where it kind of got its facelift to where we kind of know it as now, where the pieces, they've changed. Like, it wasn't always king, queen, knight, bishop, rook. Like, it was whatever the previous society's royalty system or breakdown was. But it became kind of this game that was treasured by the elite and by military people who really cherished strategy, right? Because this was a game that made you think so many moves ahead, as you should be in real life with things like war, because it's real life and death consequences, right? It's people's lives. So that's kind of the history of chess. And what else can I talk about with it? Well, there's basic strategies to playing it, right? We're gonna get into the strategy of playing the game. I'm not a master at all, so please don't take this to your local park and try it. But you want to try to control the center squares of chess. That's what I've learned. You want to try to get your pawns and your pieces into a place where you are controlling the center of the board. Now, obviously, the game will change and morph as it continues, but that's kind of the central theme of chess, is to control the center board. And something else that's smart to do is to learn openings, what they call openings. Chess has there's only a certain amount of moves that you can make in the beginning, right? There's only so many characters you can move and so many ways to move them. So there are certain amounts of openings that people have memorized and have come up with. There's one called the Queen's Gambit. I don't know all the names. I'll find out more names, and that'll be on the next episode. But these are openings that you can learn, and then from there, from those first few moves, then you kind of get into just kind of the amoeba's cloud of how many chess games you can have, which apparently is some astronomical number, like in the trillion, like for all intents and purposes, it's infinite basically. So that's something else I found really cool about chess. What else? Okay, we could talk about some chess masters, right? I think everybody has heard of maybe Bobby Fischer because we've been searching for him for a long time. There was a movie with Lawrence Fishburne in it called Searching for Bobby Fischer. And Bobby Fischer was arguably America's greatest, or I'd say most well-known chess master and possibly the greatest chess master that we've had. He just did some astounding things at these chess, I guess, conferences, you would call them. Like he was beating people in perfect games where they were like, oh, he'll maybe beat him 4 out of whatever 5 times. No, he was perfect every time. But nowadays, we've gotten more chess masters now than we have at any time. But obviously, we have also created computers, and computers think a lot quicker than we do and think further in advance than we do. So basically, computers now are the chess masters of the world. They're the first computer to beat a human was called Deep Blue, and I think it was a Russian player, and he was like the best player in the world at the time. And this computer called Deep Blue, or this system that they created called Deep Blue, which could play chess, beat him. And I don't know currently. That's something else I'll look up. What computer is? I think there's actually a computer called Watson now that IBM has that has also beat some chess masters, but something else I'll look into for the next time. But yeah, that's kind of my blurb on chess. It's something I'm really interested in now. If you have a Mac or any type of Apple iOS, I know that chess is kind of downloaded with it because it's just a mainstay in our culture now. It's just something that we all know about and we kind of revere because we know the amount of skill and the amount of strategy and thinking that goes into this game. So yeah, if you're bored right now, which I'm sure you might be, go on your computer, go online, strike up a game of chess with some friends, and yeah, have some fun. Thanks for listening. There will be another From My Understanding coming up soon. Check it out, and I'll be back with some corrections from this episode and my topic for the next. All right, peace.